Hey, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go discussion video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Okay, so the Halloween event has kicked off in Pokemon Go. It has generated a lot of hype. People are really excited about the map changes and all the Pokemon that they're seeing in the wild. And of course, there's a lot of cool things like bonuses, as well as an increased shiny rate for Zorua. There's just a lot to do with this year's Halloween event. And of course, Niantic also introduced a brand new Pokemon, which is Morpeko. And there is a lot of discussions online going on right now regarding the usefulness of this Pokemon. The word on the streets is that Morpeko is a must-get Pokemon when it comes to PvP, specifically because its charge attack, Aura Wheel, deals an insane amount of damage, and a lot of people are seeing this Pokemon as incredibly broken. So I do think that for most players who PvP, they should definitely go out and try to get Morpeko. The only thing is, there's not many ways for you to get this Pokemon. And that's really what I wanted to focus in on with today's video. I wanted to talk about how Niantic introduces new Pokemon through means that are incredibly difficult. And I really do think that in the past, when they introduced new Pokemon through wild spawns, it was just a lot better. And I am very confused why Niantic hasn't been doing that when it comes to their in-game events, because it really hampers the experience for a lot of players. Most of the spawns that we're getting right now with the Halloween event, they're very familiar Pokemon. They're Pokemon that have been in the game for a very long time, and it's not necessarily going to draw a lot of excitement out of players. But when it comes to Morpeko, that is a Pokemon that a lot of players who PvP would actually go for. But unfortunately, there's no way to get it in the wild right now. The only way you can get it is either through field research tasks or through a special research that is currently ongoing. I mean, on top of it not spawning in the wild, it's also incredibly difficult to find the field research tasks that award you with Morpeko. I don't know if this was an oversight or if Niantic wanted this Pokemon to be rare, but it just feels like it's really difficult to get this Pokemon, and even if you do find those field research tasks, you need to complete 2 raids in order to get that Morpeko. So yeah, I think this is a big head scratcher. I think this could have been a lot more exciting. It would have definitely drawn a lot more players in, but instead, Niantic made it so that it's incredibly difficult to get this Pokemon. I don't really even think Morpeko qualifies as a Pokemon that should have had artificial scarcity, so it really feels like a head scratcher why Niantic is making it so difficult for players to get this Pokemon. The other issue that I have with Morpeko's release is that it's just Morpeko. There is not another ghost type that Niantic is releasing this year. And I think that is a huge misstep because Niantic for a very long time have been stating that they're going to try to drip feed us new Pokemon in a way where they can make sure that there's always new content that is going to be released in the future. But personally speaking, I feel like this drip feed model has also hampered the experience for Pokemon Go players. So yeah, considering just how gameplay relevant this one Pokemon is, especially when it comes to PvP, I really do think Niantic should have had it as a wild spawn and have it something we could catch numerously, especially because we do not know if this Pokemon is going to be around after this Halloween event ends. There is a strong possibility that we could get this Pokemon in the future through some sort of event or as a raid spawn or an egg hatch. I really do not know what Niantic could do, but I really do think it's a missed opportunity not having this Pokemon in the wild. Now, another issue that I have in regards to all of this is that they only released Morpeko this year and they did not include any new shinies or any other new Pokemon that could spawn in the wild. I really do feel like they should have gone with another ghost type alongside Morpeko. Maybe they could have gone with Poltegeist, which we originally thought. I think that would have been really cool. It would have generated a lot more hype for this event because as of right now, aside from those shiny costume Pokemon that are coming with part 2, there really isn't much for you to actually care about with this Halloween event. It's just a lot of cool visual new stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the map changes do look really neat, but I really think from a gameplay point of view, it's just not that exciting, and it's really unfortunate because originally I was really excited about this Halloween event, and the videos that I've been making leading up to this Halloween event were very positive, but now that the Halloween event has actually come, I feel like there's still not much to do when I open up the game. I really think Niantic needs to understand that when it comes to Pokemon Go players, they're always looking for fresh and exciting content. The visual changes are really cool, but they're not necessarily going to keep the engagement with Pokemon Go players. And when it comes to Dynamax battles and Gigantamax Pokemon, I don't think that's going to be enough either. they really need to consider that in the past, there are many things that actually worked when it came to drawing players in, when it came to keeping players' attention on Pokemon Go. And Niantic has walked away from a lot of that. Like, one of the biggest examples is that with every single in-game event, they would either release a brand new shiny, or they would release a brand new Pokemon, or they would release both. And I feel like that was enough to get a lot of players excited with certain in-game events. Like, if there was a new Pokemon, then players would go after that new Pokemon and hope for either 100% IVs or rank 1 IVs for PvP. And then when it comes to new shinies, they would go out and grind it out in hopes of getting that new shiny. But we really haven't felt that in a very long time. It just feels like with every single one of these in-game events, there's just a point of it where it just does not feel that exciting anymore. But yeah, all that negativity aside, I still think this event is pretty decent, and if you're a newer player, there's just a whole lot of really exciting stuff happening right now in Pokemon Go. I just feel like everything that I'm talking about specifically applies to veteran players, people who have been playing for several years. And I'm totally aware that there's not many of us left in Pokemon Go. I feel like the only reason why this game is still ongoing is because there's newer players every single day. But aside from that, there's fewer and fewer veteran players every single day, and I think a lot of that has to do with Niantic just having a hard time retaining players with their content. And I do think that ultimately they could come up with something. I have full faith that Niantic is capable of doing it, and the reason why I say that is because in the past with stuff like the Halloween event, they always knocked it out of the park. And I do feel like they have it in them to have really solid in-game events with a lot of fresh content. But yeah, unfortunately with this Halloween event, it's not looking too good right now. I was looking really highly at this event, especially on paper. It looked like a lot of fun. But yeah, after spending a couple of hours playing Pokemon Go with the new Halloween event, it just feels kind of dry and it feels kind of disappointing. I really do not know. But yeah, in any case, that's essentially all my thoughts and opinions regarding Morpeko and the new Halloween event. But I totally understand that this is not going to be the opinion of everyone. There's definitely going to be some of you in the comments who are saying I'm just being negative for the sake of being negative, but I really do want to just share my thoughts that, yeah, just voice my opinions on Pokemon Go, because I really do think when we have these sort of discussions, we can be very constructive and actually have improvements in Pokemon Go. But in any case, let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Are you disappointed with how they handled Morpeko, or are you totally okay with it? And let me know your thoughts regarding this Halloween event. Maybe I'm just feeling a little bit negative about it when a lot of other people are really excited about it. I would really like to know why. And yeah, hopefully we can have a great discussion. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments, so make sure you post them down below. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all in the next one.